morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you're watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television shows, and incidents in pop culture just to see how it affects our daily lives. Today, we are about to do a recap of Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 2, My Mother, Myself. As we left off from the last episode, our protagonist, Angela, Oak Bluff, doing a pop-up shop, some mysterious things going on with a girl named Taylor, and one of the, I can't think of their last names right now. But anyway, there's a whole lot of mystery behind what happened to Taylor and how did she go overboard. We've got Angela, whose family has been called out, her mother in particular, for selling drugs out of a salon. This building that Angela's mother, whose name was Eve, had, she bequeathed to Angela upon her death. So Angela, her Aunt Piggy, and her daughter, Nikki, are in Oak Bluff. So her mother can do this pop-up shop to sell her items and things from Eve's Crown is the name of the product. Nice name, by the way. We also have the DuPonts. That's who we're talking about. We have the DuPonts, and we have the Franklins, the DuPonts, and we have the Franklins. So we're getting ready to watch this episode. Watch with me. Child, we open up in a church scene. John Gray is preaching. Mama DuPont and the Leah DuPont and her husband are in church, and everybody's praising the Lord. Tyreek is praising the Lord. Child, it remind me of an old AME church where the parishioners won't say anything, and then Angela started shouting, and everybody looking around like, what is she doing? Oh my gosh. Oh, child. I'm gonna get in trouble. What is she doing? Oh my gosh. After church, Angela runs into Tyreek. She asks Tyreek to help her with construction at Eve's Crown. He takes a challenge. She hires him. Mama DuPont talks to Leia about her daughter Lauren, saying Lauren's partying has gotten out of control. She needs to do something, put a rein on it, because she didn't want Lauren embarrassing her and her good name, child. We get to the Graceties. They're doing flower arrangements. They changed the name to the Diamond Ball. Then Lauren, before then, Lauren comes in. Honey, she looks like she's hungover from the gods. She comes to the place late. Leah scolds her, invites her to the Forbes shooting. Then Leah gets the girl's phone. Is it me? But I have never seen so many people leaving their phone without a lock on it. So, but it's TV, child. It's TV. So she looks through the phone and she sees, intimate pictures of Taylor and Lauren. Throughout that whole Gracities little meeting, Leia asked another Gracity member to go and deliver flowers to her mother, Rose. Well, the woman who she asked has to go take her son someplace. So Angela decides that she's going to do it. And she goes over to meet Mama Rose, and Mama Rose said, "Oh, I got a surprise visit from the bitch child." She was talking about Leia. So what you want? Clearly, Mama Leia doesn't recognize that Angela is not Leia. And Leia, she's about to, I guess, spill some tea, child. Spilling the tea. Child, Miss Rose spilled the tea, honey. She said that Evelyn worked for her for 2 summers. And then she betrayed her by sleeping with her husband, Rose's husband. Child say that Evelyn wasn't fit to be a mom. Say she sold her baby for $50,000. And said that Deborah Ann Washington brought that baby home from the hospital. Who is Deborah Ann Washington? Boy, these folks, ooh, honey, she's spilling some tea. Leah does that little Forbes shoot. She cute. She's there with Lauren, talking to Lauren. Then Papa Pope, a.k.a. Teddy, comes in and does his monologue about the gray areas of business. Leia's not really trying to hear all that. Some reason Leia goes to Angela's Eve's crown to see, because she said, I know that you've been talking to my husband about the incubator loan, and I just want to see what kind of business you're actually running here. You know, being classist. That's all. Just being classist. Interesting thing, Lauren comes out to her mother, and her mother's like, I love you, but I can't accept that. Angela tries to tell her, hey, the next thing you say to her is going to be important, and how your relationship is going to go. And you need to make sure what you say next is going to be how you really and truly feel. What's her name? Angela's calling back and forth to the hospitals, and she finds out that the story that Rose Franklin told her in the nursing home was true. That her mother did give her away to a very rich family, but she couldn't go through with it, and she was with this rich family for 6 months. She did take the $50,000. She was going to give the $50,000 back, but she spent it because Aunt Piggy had gotten into some trouble, and she needed that $50,000. It ended up that Angela's mother had to work for this woman for a very, very, very long time, for years, from what my understanding is, to get for years. To pay that woman her money back. So, it seems like Tyreek and, excuse me. Let me go back. Angela had some choice words for her Aunt Piggy, because Aunt Piggy knew about that information. In that little room that they discovered up under the stairs, there's a lot of clothes, little fancy, sharp clothes and whatnot. So Angela has decided to wear one of those dresses to this function that she's going with Tyreek. And she looks good. It's like a little black sparkly ensemble. It reminds me of a Diana Ross type dress that she would wear in concert. A little sparkly. And Angela got that thing on. Derek J. I just found out he was one of the hairstylists on Real Housewives of Atlanta. He is the stylist on this show. He's the one doing all the hair stuff. So shout out to him. He looks good. Looks good. So we get to the Diamond Ball, and all the honorees and things are there. They have this little group that's singing. Sound pretty good. So, Nikki and Aunt Piggy arrive. Even before that, let me think. Mr. DuPont, Morris Chestnut's character, I don't know what his first name is. He's talking to Angela about the incubator program. He mentions, because Angela, with Leia's, photo shoot for Forbes, she gets a mention in Forbes because they use her products. So she gets a mention in Forbes. And so that is a good little chunk in her chain as far as getting this incubator loan. So Mr. DuPont says, hey, what we're going to do is get you an interview tomorrow so you could talk to the board about, getting your incubator loan. So anyway, Nikki and Aunt Piggy arrive, and Lauren goes up to Nikki. Oh, she says some stupid thing. Lauren is too much for me. She really is just too much. You've been talking to my mother about me and Taylor, and she's, I haven't said anything to your mother about anything. And so she's like, you don't belong here unless you want to be serving me. And Nikki got in her thing, and that's that thing about bringing kids into grown folk stuff when you're not ready to do what you need to do. So Nikki was like, I belong here, because she was just about to spill the beans that her grandfather is her grandfather too. And Angela pulls her away. And Nikki reminds her that, hey, you still ain't doing what you do, or honoring her mama, honoring her grandmother. You still ain't spread them ashes or whatever. Then Teddy DuPont gets up on the stage, and Angela looks like she's seen a ghost, child. Angela looks like she's straight seen a ghost. Child, at the Diamond Ball, Leah's being honored for taking over being the CEO of Franklin Corp. And honey, Teddy got up there and told her, no, that's not it. She's still going to be my second in command. And everybody's looking and she's looking and everything like that. Teddy goes back and tells her, why you so quick to bring me down, you're going to be bringing your husband down, because that Shell Corporation that pulled the bribes and stuff like that, that's owned by your husband, child. So you still going to be second in command. You're not going to be first in command. You're not going to be over the stuff. So, Angela sees Teddy and she get to running behind him like she was running behind him when she was a little girl. And come to find out, she couldn't get out there as quick enough. And he did the same thing he did back when she was a little girl. He walked on out that door, caused a scene, and walked on out that door. Tyreek tried to stop. He was like, hey, you disappeared. I was looking for you. She was like, please leave me alone. Child, that girl ran all the way out to the ocean. She was so sick. Her daughter came after her. And she was like, I was trying to talk. I wanted to talk to him and I just couldn't. And her daughter just kind of held her hand. Meanwhile, Mr. DuPont, Leah's husband, is hot fire mad because he's not going to be able to get his company back. Because she promised him that once she got Franklin, she was going to get her company back. She's not going to get he's not going to get his company back. So he is really mad. And she literally shucking and driving, trying to explain to him, hey, this is the reason why you ain't going to be able to get your company back, boo. Who's Jack? And why does Jack feel like he can roll up and kiss up on somebody? He kissed Leia all up in the little black diamond ball, and Lauren saw it. Lauren is disgusted. She runs out. Baby, who's Jack? And why is Jack running around here? I mean, running around here kissing on Leia. Is he the white guy that was talking to Teddy? Is that his father maybe, or his brother? I'm confused. I don't know who Jack is, child. But anyway, Lauren sees the kiss. She runs out of her mom. Her mom is trying to talk to her. Well, Lauren runs into her father. His name is Raymond. She runs into her father. Her father wants to know what's going on because she's shaking. Leah comes up, so maybe we should talk about this thing at home. And wang dang doodle, baby. The police come and arrest Lauren because Taylor done woke up and said that Lauren was the one that pushed her over the boat. Child. And then she says, she looks at Nikki. You were there. You saw it. You know that I didn't do anything. Nikki said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Touche, Nikki. I had lost hope in you. I lost hope in you. But see, Lauren called herself just talking all kinds of nasty to you. But now you got a little power right then. Touche. 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 Child. Angela goes over to Tyreek's house. I'm sorry, baby. I just had all this stuff. He was like, I don't understand what I saw. He says you was running after Teddy. And then, Angela tries to play it off like, hey, I was just trying to talk to him about some business stuff, and and that's what happened. And then Tyreek tells her, hey, he has high regards for Teddy because his father was the head of security and his father was killed by taking the bullet for Teddy. So I wonder who shot the gun. Who shot you? Who shot at you, Teddy? Who shot at you, child? Because you got so many skeletons in your closet that's coming out. So it flips over. We finally see Angela and her family scatter her mother's ashes. They do a nice little poem for Maya Angelou. And they scatter the woman's ashes. But I think before that, I don't want to forget this. Teddy admits to Leia that Angela is her sister. And he was telling her, you need to tighten up because she's got a lot of skeletons to tell. Also, too, Teddy's shaking. So There might be some Parkinson's going on, but he's not as full of in control of his body as he would like you to believe. So there's something's going on with Teddy physically. They scatter the ashes. Nothing there. But then all of a sudden, Teddy shows up at the shop. He just walks in. Did they not change the locks? I'm going to need for them to change them doggone locks. That's the first thing you do when you get into a building, regardless if you've owned it. You don't know who got keys to that place. Change them locks. You got Tyreek out there working. Have him to change them locks for you. Let me taking my earrings off because you being silly. Change them locks. But Teddy comes in on Peggy, but she was burning a picture, and I couldn't tell who was in the picture. So Teddy comes in. He's, oh, is this how you gonna greet an old friend? So what tells me is this, and this is my speculation. Eve wasn't selling no drugs. Aunt Piggy was selling them drugs, and she was selling them drugs for Teddy, and got caught up because they was in the shop. She done got caught up. And so Teddy knows this, and he's about to probably blackmail her about that if she don't get Angela in check. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. This was an interesting episode. It was a good episode. The only problem I have with this show is the unfurling of information. It's like, I don't know. It seems disjointed. I mean, nothing is flowing casually. It's I don't mean no harm. And I don't even know if it's a show. I don't even know. But it reminds me like a Tyler Perry show, how stuff just doesn't flow. It's almost like they want to make you feel like it's natural, but it's not flowing naturally. Things are just not flowing. It doesn't feel organic, like we are a character in the it's just like people just throwing information out, and it doesn't make it makes sense, but then it doesn't. So because like for instance, I don't understand why Miss DuPont is so upset about Eve. I don't understand that. I don't understand this business with Raymond losing his business. Where is that business? What has happened? How did you lose the business? You said that this guy lost his business in 2 or 3 months. What happened? We should have known. This should have been unfurling. We should have honestly, we need a narrator. We honestly need a narrator to narrate some of this stuff so we can have some kind of insight of what's going on. But anyway, I'm gonna stick with the show. I'm gonna stick beside it because it is interesting, and a lot of my eye candy faves are in here, so I'm gonna watch it. So tell me what y'all think. Give me a like, put a comment down below. Comment on what do you think about the show? What do you think about the characters? Let me know, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.